You. Not much, man. Just getting some work done. What's up? COD? Yeah, I'll play some COD. Alright, give me like 5 minutes, bro. Later. Let's talk about it. What's up guys, I'm Zach, got you with another video, and this is an EXP GDC dock, and this gives you the ability to hook up a desktop GPU to your laptop, and we're able to do this through the express card slot. There is another option. It would doesn't have the big express card slot, and it would actually hook into where your Wi-Fi card hooked into, and then you would just use like Ethernet or like a USB Wi-Fi dongle or adapter or whatever for internet. But that just seems a little bit more permanent because you gotta screw it in, and depending on your laptop, that thing could be buried in the middle of your motherboard. So this express card slot option is definitely my preferred method, just because it keeps your laptop portable still. If you ever need to just unclip and just bounce, you know, that's really easy to do it this way. But either way, if you don't have an express card slot and the Wi-Fi card slot is your only option, then you know, it is what it is. But yeah, let's get this thing hooked up. Okay, so getting this set up actually isn't too hard. You are going to need a desktop power supply though, and this is what it comes with depending on which model you chose. I have the express card model. This is a 8-pin to a 20-pin and a 4-pin connector. Just going to plug that in, and then you're going to grab your 20-pin motherboard connector from your power supply and plug that in here. Then you're going to get your 4-pin CPU connector and plug that in right on the other side. And then you're going to plug your HDMI to express card slot in now. And then you pull out your graphics card here. We're using a GTX 950. A disclaimer on the graphics cards, not every card is going to work perfectly. I tried a 660 Ti and I was getting lots of blue screens. But yeah, we're going to go with a 950 here, and I didn't have any issues with this. So after you slot it in, you just push it straight in to slot down. And then you can hook up your 6-pin from your power supply. And my wire here is actually too short to reach where it needs to go, so I end up here using a Molex to 6-pin. It's 2 Molex adapters to 6-pin, and I'm going to use that to power the actual dock itself here. But if your other 6-pin is actually long enough to reach, then you can just do that. And after that, you plug up your power supply. Get your video out and plugged in. We're using DVI here. Then you plug that up to your monitor. And then after that, you're going to take your express card. Mine has a little cover in it. I pop that out. And you slide that express card in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so just a couple more things. When you get on here, all you have to do is install the latest drivers for your graphics card. And then one more thing I just wanted to point out here was the power management. So if you come down here and click on your battery icon, right click, and you'll pop into this menu here. And if you look here, I have maximum performance, ultimate performance. But if you don't see that, it might be in your drop down bar there, but if it's not, I'm gonna show you how to get it. I highly suggest you do this because this will dramatically increase your performance here. So you want to go to the command prompt, right click that, and run as administrator. And then that's going to bring you up to here. And I'll leave this in the description. You want to copy this and paste this into your command prompt. And then click enter to run it. I didn't do it here because I already have it done, but then you can just exit out of that and then open up your power management again. And then it should be there, and if it's not, like I said, there's a little drop down there right here that I click. It might be there, but definitely do this. This will very much help your performance. So the laptop we'll be using here is a Dell Latitude E5430. This has an Intel i7-3630QM clocked at 2.4 GHz, 12 GB of DDR3 RAM clocked at 1600 MHz, and it has Intel HD 4000 graphics. Okay, starting off here with some games that the Intel HD 4000 graphics can actually run. We have Team Fortress 2 here, running at 1080p high settings. This game actually runs pretty smooth as long as you're getting above 30. So I thought it was getting some pretty good numbers here at 1080p high, so I just left it like that. It felt pretty smooth. And here we have it running on the GTX 950, and we're getting 100 plus. This is still 1080p high settings, and it's going to be a really good experience here. Switching back to the Intel HD 4000 here, Rocket League, running at 720p with performance settings, and not really breaking 30 here. Could you play like this? Probably, but definitely not a preferred way to play. And here we have it running with the GTX 950, and this is 1080p quality settings, and we never drop below 80 here, honestly. Man, this is super smooth. This is a much better way to play the game. Moving on to Fortnite here, this is 720p performance mode, low settings. The laptop's definitely struggling to run this one a little bit. It's got some graphical issues. You'll see kind of like some weird pop-in with the graphics, and yeah, getting under 30 most of the time here, or a lot of the time here. And now running it on the 950, we're hitting above 100. I never really seen it drop below 90. And this is definitely a much more competitive experience. If this is if you want to play this competitively, you might be able to get away with it. Now GTA 5, this is running at 800 by 600 on normal settings, which is pretty much the low settings. And it's actually surprisingly playable on the Intel HD 4000 graphics. I mean, I know that this game came out in 2015 for PCs, but yeah, definitely still not an ideal experience. And of course here, 950 is going to tear this game up. This is 1080p, normal settings still, but we're above 60 the whole time. And now this is a fun one. I'm surprised Rainbow Six Siege even launched here. This is 720p low settings. I did try 720p 50 or 25% resolution scale, but yeah, that didn't really help at all, and this is completely unplayable. single digits. Now with that bump in performance with the GTX 950 here, this is 1080p low settings still, and this is above 80 all the time pretty much. Super smooth, and you could probably play pretty competitively like this. Now, Back 4 Blood really wanted to launch on the Intel HD 4000 graphics, but would not launch. It would get this far, and then it would just crash to the desktop. But with the GTX 950 at 1080p low with FSR on quality, we're above 40 or above 40 all the time. This is like a really intense scenario here. Everybody's shooting, a bunch of zombies running at us. Never drop below 40, and when you're kind of just carrying around the map, you're above 60 most of the time. Now moving on to some games that would not launch on the 4000 graphics here. We got Battlefield 5 running at 900p low settings with 75% resolution scale. We're above 40 most of the time. It does dip into the 30s sometimes, but for a non-competitive, just trying to have some fun experience, I mean, you can get by with this. Now, Apex Legends running at 900p low settings. Again, not going to get a competitive experience out of this, but if you're just playing for some fun, just hop into a game with the boys here and there, you can definitely get by with this as well. And the big one here, Call of Duty Vanguard, running at 900p low settings with FSR set to balanced. Above 40 most of the time. We get into the 50s and 60s here sometimes, but most of the time we're hovering around 40, 45. And I found that if you put an FPS lock on like 40 or 45, usually you get a really smooth experience out of that, and you can get used to playing like that for sure. Okay, so do I suggest you go out and pick up all these parts just to make a setup like this? Short answer, no. Long answer is if you already have a laptop with an express card slot and you're just looking for like a little bit of a bump in performance, then yeah, definitely go for it, because you saw we got like a pretty big bump in performance, honestly. And honestly, it's also just a really cool project to put together. Two more things before we end the video. Number one is whatever graphics card you use, you can pretty much chop off like 15 or 20% of its top performance just due to the pure limitations of the express card slot. And number two, not every laptop is like considered compatible, so definitely do a little bit of research before you just hop into this setup. But other than that, if you like the video, please leave it a like, and maybe consider subscribing if you're into videos like this. And thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.